All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. We in the building. Appreciate the love and support. I had to go live tonight to kind of discuss the boxing schedule that PBC shared, and also got some rumors and some news you're probably not gonna hear for a few days. So let's get into it. Don't forget you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Best way to donate is to share the video. But Cash App, PayPal is in the description. Don't forget to check out our sponsors tonight. The Help Blaze at thehelpblaze.com. 100% on natural products. Use the promo code Goodfellow1Boxing. Get 18% off the 100% on natural products. Website promo code is in the description. Don't forget to check out our other sponsors, Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers. You can find them at Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers on IG. They want to buy your cell phones, iPhones in particular, working, a little bit working, not working, fully working. Hit that number up on the screen, or you can follow their social media, Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers on Instagram, their website in the description, the whole nine. So obviously, I told you guys, follow me on social media. I told you guys that they were going to announce about 7 fights. They ended up announcing 9 fights, and some undercard news came out as well last night. Um, so I told you the Charlo fight. I didn't know it was going to be doubled up like that. They're going to be on pay-per-view. I mean, we'll go through the whole 9. I heard Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell is a done deal. I heard Callum Smith and Canelo is a done deal, and I think that is expected to be announced Friday. But I'll fact check that in a minute. And also, I got some rumors that you guys may be interested in. Um, I don't think I said these yet, so let me double check and make sure I haven't said these yet. Oh yeah, I got some news on Sean Porter, Eubanks Jr., possibly Keith Thurman. Uh, a few other things. If you didn't catch my video earlier, I'll let you know what the Fox lineup can look like. So appreciate it. Make sure you jab that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, please. But yeah, we already knew this was coming. I mean, we don't have to talk about it. First fight they got lined up is Stephen Fulton Jr. versus Angelo Leo. All these fights that I'm reading off will be going down at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. And disclaimer, if any of these dudes get the coronavirus, these fights can immediately be called off. So you got to remember that. Like, the schedule looked good, but if the pandemic, creep up on the schedule, then, these fights are subject to change. Anybody that worked in the car plant, they always tell you 8 hours are subject to change. That subject to change is basically to let you know, like, if we ain't met where we supposed to meet at, we might be here a little bit longer or all night. So, General Pendit, Boston Gerard, Versatile ENT, Fax Tellerman. So I don't have to talk about Angelo Leo and Stephen Fulton. We know that's August 1st. It's a great way to start off. I just, I don't want to see two small fighters starting off, but it's a good crossroad fight. I mean, I heard Angelo Leo's pretty good. I checked him out. He's 19-0 with 9 knockouts. Stephen Fulton Jr. is 18-0 with 8 knockouts. So hopefully those brothers stay healthy. David Benavidez taking on Ramiro Alexis Angulo, a voluntary August 15th. We knew that was coming, so there's no need to kind of give our opinion on those fights. I think those are better. Those fights, by themselves are better than anything Top Rank did this summer. So, I mean, straight up and down. But what you kind of got to realize is this. Top Rank didn't have the luxury of they started in June. They didn't have an 8-week they didn't have an 8-week head start. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they started boxing, a lot of states still was on lockdown. You feel me? So when people get mad at Top Rank, I get it, but what did you want Bob Arum to do? Al Heyman got an 8-week head start. He waited 8 weeks behind. And then he got pushed off his original date of Delorme and Jamal James was going to be going on like August 8th or some shit like that because of baseball. So Bob Arum, he did the best that he can. Now Bob Arum actually had waited for 8 weeks like Al in his own probably gonna do. Probably would have got better fight cards, but I felt that he set boxing back a lot. Top Rank set boxing back significantly. I think it turned away a lot of casual fans. When ain't nothing to do and casual fans and nothing on TV and casual fans choose not to tune in till fight, they just. I mean, I run into people all the time where I run into people all the time where I see these dudes at the Home Depot, a guy told me, he was looking at my shirt. I got it from Broner and Granados. Not Broner Granados, but Broner and Jesse Vargas. Said, I just don't recognize the fighters no more. Killer salute. So, like I said before, a lot of people saying, oh, Al bringing the heat. Al got a great lineup going on. But, we go through it. Terrell Boucher, Lubin, it's a solid fight. Still, to me, it tells me nothing about Lubin. I'm not high on Boucher. Boucher is like the black version of Danny Garcia, but the poor man's version. And I don't want him to take offense to that. I mean, he'd probably be mad. I don't have no ill will towards him. I support the fighters out of Ohio, but I just he don't have he has okay athleticism, but he's pretty much average in every area. Solid Olympian, but it still doesn't tell me much about Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good comeback fight. But Lubin resume still piss poor. That's just what I'm. It's a fight I'm looking forward to. Maybe Boucher can upset Lubin and Lubin get overconfident. We seen Julian Williams get overconfident and he lost. So I think Lubin is the same way. It's not proven yet, but I think if Lubin is feeling like the hunter, I think Lubin is vulnerable. If he's feeling like the prey and he the underdog, I think Lubin gonna be one of those dudes that he better as the underdog. When he get too confident, I just think he get out of position and he lose. So that's gonna be August September 19th. I will be watching every fight I'm naming. Then the week later, you got the Charlo twins headlining a unique pay-per-view. All right, you got Jamel and Jamal going against Rosario and Derbachenko. Now, they couldn't figure out who going to be the main event. Now, last time the Charlos was on pay-per-view, him and Tony Harrison should have been the main event. But they flip a coin, and Jamel pretty much lost. So he lost the coin toss, lost the fight to Tony Harrison in the first fight, and it affected Jamal Charlo's performance. So in this situation, Floyd Mayweather was the first guy I heard talking like, somebody else, like Lawrence Williams or, some other real hardcore historian may remember a time that I don't, that you had a situation where Floyd was going to want to fight Khabib or McGregor in the afternoon, and at night he wanted to fight the one he didn't fight in the afternoon, and he was going to charge like $210 for a pay-per-view fight in the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium, whatever they call it. All right, but this way, one Charlo was going to fight they opt in the afternoon on pay-per-view with a 3-card undercard. Now Danny Roman was supposed to fight Emmanuel Rodriguez on one of the undercards. Rodriguez pulled out again. Okay, people forget Rodriguez pulled out versus Luis Neri over like a pound or whatever. So Danny Roman is no longer working with Eddie Hearn, so there had to be some casualties over at the zone, right? So the one Charlo twin, a headliner card in the afternoon from the same venue, 3-fight card. The opposite Charlo is gonna have a main event at night and 3-fight undercard at night, but it'll all be for one pay-per-view price. All right. So I heard that's September 26th. Danny Roman is gonna be on one of the undercards versus TBA because Emmanuel Rodriguez is just a pussy. But also it's gonna be at a reduced pay-per-view price. Ain't nobody know this but me. All right. Maybe somebody else, but I don't know. I had to ask. They told me that I asked last night. I was talking to one of the guys. I said they're gonna reduce the pay-per-view at Showtime. They said he don't know, but then they called me today. It was like, yeah, they're gonna reduce it to around $65, and I'm thinking like it should be reduced to 50. To be honest, that pay-per-view should be reduced to 50. But I guess $10 is a big enough reduction, but they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna promote the fight. The fight is 6 weeks out, 7 weeks out. You gotta promote, bro. You know what I'm saying? You have to promote and market the fights, but they just expect to run some promos, a few radio commercials, a few commercials on TV on CBS, and people gonna come. You gotta have a build up. People want to get to know the fighters. The reason Mayweather rose to prominence is solely off of 24/7. Floyd was talented. I mean, Floyd, before he fought Oscar, he showed more talent. He was a more talented fighter in previous weight class. Floyd's worst weight class was 54 and 47. That's why I don't think Floyd is a top welterweight of all time. I don't care what nobody said. I think there are 10 better welterweights in history that'll fuck Floyd up. And I've always said that. But this is not about Floyd. But I just feel they need something that can really introduce the fighter to the fans. You know how rappers, they can just take the rapper model since Al Heyman is in the music business. What's the rapper model? You drop a single, and what does a rapper? What they used to do back in the day? Used to travel, and promote the single and meet the fans. PBC might need to get, and I'm giving Al all these ideas. You know what I'm saying, for free, but I don't care. Maybe they need to do a meet and greet with these fighters. You know what I'm saying? What I would do is this: I would have these fighters. I would take like 10 fighters, and I would go on a national tour where we would go to boxing gyms. We would have meet and greets and partner with radio stations, and we would have boxing clinics for kids, and balloons and Gatorade, and give away gloves and boxing gear. And I would just partner with local radio stations and other food drives, and I would just take them on a mini tour. Philly, DC. I would do an East Coast version. I would do a Midwest version, and I would do a West Coast version. The West Coast version might be more popular because they support Hispanics, support their fighters a lot more. That's something that they not thinking about. It takes money to make money, and a lot of people don't understand that saying. It take money to make money, for real talk. That's why you have Zuckerberg, who needed his boy startup money. You know what I'm saying? But they need to do something because they're not marketing these fighters. They just throwing these fighters, and they not even doing a million views on Showtime, and they only doing like a million or 2 million views on Fox, and people are going, "Oh, this is great." It's not great. Do you understand there are 350 American people? And you can't use streaming as an excuse. Why the fuck do I need to stream free Fox? It's over 350 Americans out there, and you only can tap in on free TV to 2.5 million. That's terrible. That's terrible. They also need to partner with Gatorade and Nike, and Al Heyman just don't. I don't really know how good of at 65, 66 years old. Bob Arum 89 years old. Eddie Hearn is probably the more youthful promoter, and I don't mean to kind of venture off, but I don't know how much creativity are in their brains other than Eddie. You have to be creative. Al should come out with a PBC line of clothes and athletic wear and partner with Nike and Under Armour. He should partner with Gatorade and do some Gatorade. I mean, even if Gatorade don't pay Caleb Plant one dime, and he do a Gatorade commercial, and they show us highlights, Caleb Plant, is people gonna be interested. Just using him as an example. What about the Charlo twins doing Vogue, or what I'm saying? I mean, they just don't market the fighters outside of boxing no more. And then you expect this to, they do shitty numbers on Fox and shitty numbers on Showtime. You expect them to go to pay-per-view and people just gonna pay for it? No. When you got all them old men, they don't understand. They stuck in their ways. You can't teach them old dogs new tricks. You can't. But that's what boxing is lacking. And on top of that, it's lacking the best fighting the best. Now, if the best fought the best on accessible TV, then we'll be in the game. We will be in the game. It ain't shit to lose or come back. Sean Porter showed it a lot of times. Amir Khan showed it a lot of times. Broner showed it a lot of times. Broner lost, ain't won in 3 years, and still cashed in a Pacquiao pay-per-view. Come on. It ain't nothing to lose. That's the problem. Motherfuckers, they see the schedule and they get excited off the schedule. As a hardcore fan, we supposed to be excited about this coming off that bullshit that Top Rank was giving us. But when you go out there and talk to Tommy, Susie, Billy, and Devontae, ain't no regular American give a fuck about this boxing lineup. Not one. Maybe the Tank fight. Maybe because Tank is a popular fighter. You know what I'm saying? I do remember them in the GQ magazine. We do more of that. Nobody cares about these fights. That's the problem. None of these fights is jumping out the pot. None of them. And they're not supposed to because they just coming back. But boxing has been giving us, Corona fights for a long time. Boxing has been giving us the fights we don't want to see. But let's continue on. Charlo and Derbachenko, I'm excited. Like I said before, they might get me to pull the trigger and buy that fight night. Sometimes you get buyer's remorse, where you say you're not buying it. And I usually go to the movies, but obviously the movie theaters are The movie theaters are like not open right now. They doing drive-in, so hopefully they had a fight as a drive-in. I don't mind supporting Al Heyman, but I'm not paying for pay-per-view. I'm not paying for $80, $65. I'm just not doing it. Not even UFC. I'm not doing it. I'll go to the movie theaters and break bread with a dub, or I go to Dave and Buster's and pay the $10 cover fee, cover charge, but I'm just not doing it. If I don't have to pay pay-per-view for my favorite sport as far as football, at one point basketball was my favorite sport, but I prefer boxing over basketball these days. I mean, but if I ain't got to pay for like the World Series, the Super Bowl, what else? I like watching Wimbledon. I'm sad that didn't happen this year. If I ain't got to pay for that, then I don't just think I deserve to pay for these fights. But like I said, if I did pay for, like, if you asked me to put a gun in my head, I would definitely. I think the Charlo twin card is very attractive. To be honest, I definitely, if you have my advice to say, well, CJ, I got $65 to spend on the pay-per-view fight card, which one am I gonna get? Charlo card. I think you got a bona fide. If they had better notoriety, was moved better. You probably got two classic fights. I'm telling you, Charlo and Derbachenko. Unless Derbachenko get old overnight, it cannot disappoint. Unless it's like a Kermit Cintron, Paul Williams situation, or Bernard and Chad Dawson one situation. It can't disappoint. If you want your friend, you be like, man, I want you to get into boxing. That is the fight. I'm telling you, bro, that's gonna be some gangster shit. That's gonna be the most gangsterish fight outside of Conor McGregor Khabib since Angulo and James Kirkland. Now, if you ain't never seen Angulo versus James Kirkland, it's on YouTube. Look it up. If you like watching fights, get your popcorn ready. It's the most gangster shit in boxing. It ain't been a fight more gangster than that. It ain't been a fight more gangster than that. That's gangster. And when you talking about a gangster fight, Hagler, Hearns, Angulo and Kirkland was some gangster shit. You know when a nigga come out to it ain't nothing but a gangster party, and Snoop played that tonight. That Snoop and DMX shit was hot. When they played ain't nothing but a gang. When Kirkland came out, I think they was in Cancun. That was just some gangster shit. That was a gangster fight. And Gulo was all over Kirkland. He blew his load, and Kirkland, man, gangster. And Wolfgang. That was the most gangster shit last decade in boxing. Gangster. That was gang. When I'm talking about gangster, that was gangster. That's what I think Derbachenko and motherfucking Charlo about to be on some real gangster shit, like some real like Thriller Manila type shit. And it was a Omar Figueroa when he fought that fucking Japan guy. That was a good fight. But Kirkland and Gulo had a gangster. It's a different type of feel. It's not a color. It's just something about a fight when it becomes gangster. And when you see it, you'll know it. When you see a gangster fight, it ain't like it's a war and like they going at it. It's just something about like the fighters are edgier. It's a certain feel when they walk into the ring. You can just tell in their expression. And Gulo came in with like, I know there's gonna be some bullshit, but I'm with it all. Kirkland come to the ring. I know it's about to be some bullshit, but I'm willing to go through it all. And it just was a gangster party, bro. That was the perfect song to sum up what that fight was about. Great fight. Great fight. You kind of have a feel that some of those fights gonna happen like that. You like, man, this gonna be it. And it lived up to it. It exceeded the hype. I love that fight. I could watch that shit all day. I think Derbachenko and Charlo gonna be on that type of shit. I don't think they gonna be the same. It's gonna be that type of fight. So if you telling your friends to come over and watch a fight, you trying to get them into boxing, this is a fight that should be free. They should put this shit on Fox. Because I'm telling you, unless Derbachenko get old overnight or somebody get hit with a shot they can't recover from, I just don't see that fight. And people say, I'm telling you, this fight is going to be the best fight PBC ever put on. I'm not talking about A side, B side, the popular. I'm talking about on some straight gangster. Derbachenko is a gangster. Already had, and I'm gonna tell you this. You already had Andre Rozier said Charlo was on steroids. Y'all forget that. Rozier, Andre, Danny Jacobs, they all running the same circles. Remember that. This is about to be, and even if Charlo win this fight, I want to see him then go on to fight Danny Jacobs. That fight is going to be, I'm telling you, bro. I would not want to miss this fight for the world. This is going to be the best fight. This is probably going to be the version of Kirkland and Angulo. I'm telling you. This is going to be Hagler Hearns. But I think it's going to have more longevity than Hagler Hearns. I think you got two better conditioned athletes. Well, I think both of them better conditioned than Angulo was that night. I just don't see it disappointing, bro. If this fight disappoint, man, I just would be shocked. And what's so funny about it is this fight it's gonna almost happen 9 years to the day Angulo around that time, almost 9 years until Angulo and Fredo Angulo and Kirkland fought. Almost 9 years. If they waited one more year, it'd have been a 10-year anniversary. So in 2011, November 5th, who would have thought that there would not be another boxing match on Prime on television network, and I think that was on HBO. That won't rival it. Sometimes you get the best fight in the beginning of a decade. And you go on from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and you forget about fights like that. I mean, another one was Glenn Tappy and James Kirkland. You know, you had a lot of really knockout, drag out fights. But this is gonna be a gangster fight. And you know what? Jamel versus Rosario, even if that's later on or after that fight, that has the potential to be another gangster fight. I'm not saying this is gonna be the BMF fight. I think the bad motherfucking fight is Derbachenko and Charlo. But I think that got a chance to be a classic. What I've been telling y'all 2 months ago, Rosario been training already. I told y'all a couple of months ago that he got the thumbs up to come from the Dominican Republic, so he been training. So Rosario, like I said, I think this is a 55-45 matchup. You know, the only reason I say 150-50 because I don't think Rosario. I'm not sure Rosario's the real deal, but he can hit. Only thing I need to know if Rosario can win this fight is he can take away Charlo punch. If he can take Charlo punch or roll with it, I'm telling you, Rosario gonna dominate Charlo. I'm telling you that he gonna dominate that. Y'all gonna be surprised if he can't take the punch or he can't keep up with his stamina. Charlo ain't this version of Jamel Charlo ain't skilled at all. This version of Charlo is all speed, all athleticism, and heart. As far as skills, he don't have none. This dude is just, he's loading up on every shot. He looking to kill you with every shot. If he fucked around and fought a Terry Norris, a Floyd Mayweather, if he fought Oscar De La Hoya at his prime at 54, Oscar De La Hoya make Charlo his bitch. No two ways around it. Better than Lara and her. Yeah, it was better fight than Lara and her. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. You talking about either one of them? And Gulo and fucking Kirkland was some bad. Lara and her was a good fight. It wasn't gangster though. It wasn't gangster. It was a good competitive fight. And Gulo and fucking Kirkland was some killer shit. I don't even think them niggas had like air conditioning when they was fighting that. But yeah, Derbachenko and Charlo will be better than Lara and her. Remember Lara. What you got to remember, Lara. He like I said before, Lara was a guy that. Man, I think Angulo and Lara was a really good fight too. Lara was a guy like. How can I explain this shit? Lara like he tiptoed to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? Dear her finished hard. Like Angulo and Kirkland was just going hard. And Derbachenko and Charlo gonna go hard. General Jackson and Super Chat appreciate. They just gonna go hard. You're not gonna have nobody like that's like Lara that's looking to throw one or two shots. Motherfucker like Kirkland and Gulo was like that fat dude Honda from Street Fighter. Charlo and Derbachenko gonna be like nigga, like it's gonna be some boom 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 boom. It ain't gonna be no one pity pat 1-2 roll like Lara. This gonna be some Imano shit, man. This gonna be like some dude like it's gonna be like playing Bison at the end of Street Fighter games. This gonna be some like I'm telling y'all, bro. This gonna be gangster. What Fab say? Keeping it gangster. No, keeping it gangster. And Gulo was giving until he got that hematose. But you hear Lara saying and Gulo saying, "Oh, Lara has something in his glove." He said he thumbed him. He said Lara was an underrated classic. You just don't know boxing, bro. You don't know boxing. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't gangster, bro. It was a good fight. That wasn't gangster. Fucking her getting out boxed for first few rounds and then coming on strong at the end. What I'm saying from beginning to end was kill or be killed versus Kirkland and Gulo. From beginning to end, it was KOBK. And I'm saying Charlo and Derbachenko gonna be killed or be killed. And then you got two fighters that's more skilled than Jerry Hurd right there. It was a good fight. I'm not saying Jerry Hurd and Lara wasn't. It was a great fight. Hurd and Tony Harrison was another great fight. But it lacked skill, bro. And Lara just throw one or two punch. Like, come on, man. Regardless how much Jerry Hurd was on his ass, Lara will only throw one or two real punches to keep him off. He said PBC wise, CJ not compared to Kirkland and Gugula. I don't know what he mean by that comment. PBC running the game. They both Charlos win. I hope both Char. I think both probably. I think I'm more confident in Jamal winning than Jamel. I just think Derbachenko got too much tread on the mile. He got over what 40-something fights, almost 50 fights between the World Series of Boxing and this one. I just think Charlo, especially coming off that Golovkin fight, I just think Charlo a little bit more fresher. I just want to see it. I just think it's gonna be the best fight they ever put on. I want to see it. So I'm an advocate. If you want to, buy that fight, I'm not knock you. That's gonna be a great deal right there. But I'm not buying it. No, but I'm picking like if you ask me who I'm rooting for Jamal. I like Jamal. He might not like me because I don't fuck with his weak ass brother. But if you ask me who I'm winning versus Rosario, I hope Rosario, man. I hope he knocked the banana peel off that nigga head, man. I hope he knocked Jamil clean out. I ain't mentioned no words about it, but personally, I slightly favor Jamil. I'm not sure yet. I haven't watched the film, but I'm kind of. I hope. I mean, it really didn't make me no difference. Banana Boy, I watched him a few times before this even happened. So, gotta wait. You gotta wait and listen, Sean. You will see what happened. You will see. It makes sense. He said you said it would be the best PBC fight. I think Laura and her was the best fight so far. Well, you got other ones too because you got a few of the ones that was early on that was good. What's my man's name that lost to Berturbia? Hot Rod and Marcus Brown was a good fight, even though Marcus Brown lost. Trout and motherfucking Hurd was another good fight. Harrison and Hurd was a good fight. Harrison and Willie Nelson, shout out to Ohio, Youngstown, that was a good fight. I'm just going off the top of the dome. Wilder Ortiz 1 was a good fight. I'm just trying to think. Sean Porter Earl Spence was a classic, like maybe an underrated classic fight. I won't say it's a pure classic, but it was a good fight. Keith and Pacquiao was a good fight. Barrios and that Russian dude, that was a badass fight. Omar Figueroa fighting that Asian guy. I think that might have been a better fight than Hurd and Hurd and Lara. Go back and watch that. He Nataki Naraka, I forgot. But that Figueroa fight was a badass fight. I'm just thinking off the top of the dome. Was this a PBC fight? Or did he go back to Golden Boy at this point? John Molina, Matisse was a badass fight too. I know they both were with Al at a point in time. So, Matisse and Molina was a hell of a fight. Right? That was a great fight. So it's something out there we forgetting. I mean, it depends on kind of when the PBC era kind of started. So, but it's a, I mean, I don't think this was it might have been the PBC era. Sluck Aiden and Robert Guerrero was another good one. That was another good fight. Man, been a lot. It been man, it been quite a few kind of low key good fights, man. They didn't had over there. You know? So I mean, well, you could just keep going on and on with fights they didn't have, man. So I mean, but yeah, we talked about September 20. I just know Danny Romano, one of their undercards. It's split fight though. Split fight. So one Charlo fight in the afternoon card for one pay per view fight. The other one fighting in nighttime with 3 fights on the undercard. So October 10th, you got Earl Spence's mandatory between Sergey Lipinets and Qdoba from Top Rank. They fighting for the IBF interim title October 10th. So that should be a good fight. I think Qdoba from Top Rank, his ability to use his legs and his length might be a little bit too much for Lipinets. So if he can't take Lipinets punches, then it's gonna be a problem. But Lipinets don't have the wheels. And I think depending on Qdoba length, I think I like Qdoba in that fight. I never liked Lipinets' feet. I mean, there's been a couple dudes in boxing that's been kickboxers. Dillian White feet is terrible, and Big Baby Miller feet terrible. He can't generate no power. So I love that fight too. I think that's gonna be the bull in the matador. You know, I think Lipinets lack feet, but you know who training Lipinets now? It's not Buddy McGurf no more. Somebody train. Joe Goose. I just don't. I just think they need to fix his feet. You know what I'm saying? But he got one of them. He one of them dudes with that wide base like Wilder and Broner. If Lipinets had better feet, he would have defeated Mikey Garcia fairly easy. But then you got October 24th pay per view Tank and Leo. Somebody just mentioned that in the chat. I'm not paying for that. I don't like neither one of them at this point of their career. Yeah, Berto too. Yeah, Berto and Ortiz was that was before the first one was before the PBC era. Remember that was on HBO. So that's before the PBC era. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Tank and Leo. I hope I'm pulling for Tank to win because I can't stand Leo Santa Cruz. But whoever lose, it wouldn't make me no difference. I like Tank, and I understand what Tank going through in life because if I grew up like Tank and I had a lot of money, but I just can't. I just can't like his work ethic. His mind. I just can't. I can't get with it, man. But people saying, it's a good point to talk. People talking about Tank probably ain't gonna make the weight. Tank will make the weight. The reason Tank didn't make the weight versus Gamboa was because he tried to make weight on his own. I think Mayweather will convince him, or Ellaby will I don't know why Ellaby just don't do it. Ellaby is a strength and conditioning coach by trade. So I think, Ellaby, or they need to hire somebody, and I think he will, nutritionist, strength and conditioning coach. He should make the weight. I think I'm probably be in the minority. I think Tank makes the weight, and Tank can make the weight. People say, "Oh, he fattened. He didn't have a nutritionist. He tried to make the weight his own, being cheap." So I think Tank can make the weight. Anything beyond 6 rounds in this fight, I'm disappointed. Tanks to stop Leo Santa Cruz in no time. Body work, body work, body work. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors with Leo. Leo's a solid fighter. Leo got good range. He got good feet. You know what I'm saying? For a Mexican fighter, Tank need to be prepared for what he went through versus Gamboa. It's gonna be a lot of improvising with Leo's game. With his feet and with his hands, gonna be a lot of throwaway shots. Just because somebody don't throw or don't have a reputation for having heavy hands, a lot of the times they can outwork you. So what Tank need to work on doing is putting more than one shot together. That's it. Or Tank can punch in between Leo shots, but then again, we back at square one. We back at square one to hit a problem with Gamboa, relying on one shot. Even though if he can have that one shot power at 30, I don't think his home is going to be 30 past his fight. So what I would tell him to do, we can look for Leo pop pop pop. We catch or slip then shoot to the body. But if I'm coaching him, it's not pop 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 catch. No, it's either we slipping, Bang, bang, bang. I'm telling him minimum 3 combinations at a time. Even if we waiting to punch with Leo, it's just not Leo going, okay, Leo going with the jab, shoot, two, wait for Leo, slip, and no. When he shoot the jab, we looking to slip the jab. He's a southpaw Tank. I'm looking to slip the jab, bang, bang, bang. That's what I'm asking for, combination punches. We can't rely, if we in Tank camp, we can't rely on one shot. And we can rely on one shot at 130. We seen that he's the real puncher, but I want Tank to get to touch, 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 get these dudes comfortable with the power, make them brave. This is why you don't, a lot of times you touch a guy, you touch him, you just boom, boom, boom. And the jab is the range fighter. There's no one without the two. There's no two without the one. So you touch, the jab is so I can control him. I know where he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting the jab out there. I want to touch him. So once you touch him with the jab, you're able to touch him with something else. Whenever you put the one together, or you shoot a 2 or 3 or whatever you choose to shoot after the one, you know what I'm saying? After you find a home for the 2, now you can put 3 and 4 together. But people say, well, he only can, Leo can't hurt him. But you improvise with your feet and your jab, and you outwork him. Before you know it, he probably out punching Tank 7-1 as far as punch output. You know. And this fight ain't on the West Coast. It's gonna be at the Mohegan Sun, so that should be in Tank favor. But he said, Monty Griffin, every boxer today wants to be money made, but scared to death to be pretty boy Floyd. Facts. So what I would have him do is we can do it. We can do this a number of ways. You know, he can go out there, walk Leo down, cut the ring off on Leo immediately, push Leo in the corner on the ropes, exclusively rip Leo Santa Cruz body. Once he hunch over, killer uppercut. He can do that. He can go out there, walk Leo down, don't respect him. And I would say instead of headhunting, I would tell him to really shoot shine, touch the body. What he say? Give him that prison knife, Calvin said. That's what I will be looking at. Another way, SJ Fish 101, another way he can attack this game plan is punch with Leo Santa Cruz. Punching with an opponent is one of the hardest things to do in boxing. It's counter punching one-on-one. It's counter punching at its purest form. Can't too many people sit in there and take a chance and sit in the lion's mouth and time somebody and punch them while they deliver. That's why Danny Garcia beat Amir Khan. That's timing at his best. That's pure counter punching. Sitting there and you trying to land that one shot, you trying to land them few shots for Tank, I would say punch with Leo Santa Cruz, because when you punch with somebody that throw a lot of punches, the punch they don't see coming is the one that hurt them. That's it. LA 12 salute. The punch that you don't see coming is the one that gets you. So that's what makes counter punching so great. It's because you don't have to be the most powerful puncher. If somebody's muscles are relaxed or they fatigue and they don't see a punch coming, you can hurt them. So Tank should punch with Leo Santa Cruz, then cut the distance off. Once he punch with Leo Santa Cruz, he able to punch in between those combinations, Leo gonna become gunshot. And all of a sudden, when you hit him with something that hurt, then, especially early on, then he hesitant to throw all them combinations. Now you got some dudes you can hit them with something that hurt. They got poker faces. That's Danny Garcia, and Danny gonna keep coming. You got some dudes that get hit with something and they become Mikey Garcia and they just try to survive. All right, but with Tank should seriously take some stank off his punches early on and just touch him. Leo shoot the jab, slip. The 2 or 3 or 4 gonna come behind it. Bang, bang to the body. I'll just exclusively say I'm gonna bang the body. I'm a huge body guy. I'm a Mike McCallum guy. Bang, bang, touch him to the body. That's it. Tank, we ain't gonna expend energy right now. We know this dude got gas. If I'm Calvin or whoever trained him, Buddy McGurf, Kevin, just touch him. Touch him with shoe shine, 2, 3, 4, bang, 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 bang. Then Leo gonna roll out. Then you trying to cut the back door off, catch him with a hook on the back door. Try to keep him there. Just work him on the inside. Bang, just bang, bang. And when his hands start to drop to the body, Then what we want to do, Tank, we want to go left hook to the body. Well, he right-handed. He lead with his right. Southpaw. Right hook to the body, left hook to the body. He think the right hook coming back and left hook to the body, because that's what we've been working on. Then we rip that uppercut, finish off with a nice hook to the top. And that's what he got to do. Once he get inside, he slip Leo's punches, or he punch with Leo or slip and then come to the body. Leo gonna be hesitant. He gonna hit Leo with something. Leo gonna go into survival mode. Leo head don't move, the feet move. That's why you exclusively take the power away from him from the core. Take his power, take his speed away. Once Leo become a sitting duck, then it's town business. Then Tank can do whatever he want to do. But early on, I'm telling Tank, take power off the shots. Because the only way Leo gonna win this fight is Tank get tired and he outwork him down the stretch. I'm telling Tank, we gonna be relaxed. We gonna look to take what he give us. He go out there, he trying to stick and move. We're gonna cut the ring off, slip the shots, deliver on the body. Tank, don't worry about the head right now. We jabbing to the solar plex, jabbing to the stomach, jabbing to the head. Take your time. Don't sit here and try to go, huh, huh, huh. Don't try to be Sonny Liston and land that one or two big shots, even if you land it. Just touch, 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 touch. And I'm in his corner. I said about the third round, we see how he taking those touches. If his movement starting to slow down from the body, then we to the head. It's gonna be over with. It's gonna be over with. It's gonna be over with. That's it. It shouldn't make it out. It shouldn't make it past 6. Just touch him. We gonna preserve our energy. He the one that's gonna wear down from the core work. Leo ain't gonna really throw no body shots. And if Leo come out throwing body shots, then he get back to the corner at the round 1. As soon as Leo reach for the body, then I'm telling him come over the top, with an overhand left, or come over the top with a strong right hook. That's what we working on. If Leo starts going to the body too, you know what I'm saying? Then we coming up with combinations. Right hook, left hook, right hand, bam. Then come back with another left hook. That's what we gonna do. If Leo want to go to the body too, if Leo go into the body, then I tell Tank, touch him up top. Just keep touching him. Bang, 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 bang. And then if Leo want to kind of go back to the head, then we go back to the body, touching to the body, touching the body. By the time the third round come, Leo legs start to go. He more stationary. He busted up a little bit. Then I say Tank, go finish this shit. That's why I tell him, go finish this shit. Go get him. He a sitting duck. Then you can blow your load, because it's gonna be over with. Easy fight for Tank to win. Easy. Higher nutritionist, higher strength and condition. Easy fight to win. Leo Santa Cruz, easy fight to win. It's easy. Easy. If he go out there looking to kill him from round 1, and Leo survived the storm, we talked about it in Gulo Kirkland, and I think it could be an issue. So Tank just need to take his time early on. You don't have to go out there and steamroll Santa Cruz. Do it the right way. Dispatch him from the body. Dispatch him to the head. Just touch him, touch him. That's the sign of a great puncher, bro. A great puncher knows how to change the speed of his punches, and he has great puncher variety. That's the sign of a great punch. Not because you go out there and just bang somebody out with a one punch. Once that one punch power shit go away, when you move up in opposition, what else do you have? You got to have variety. You got to be able to punch it, in the inside, or operate from the pocket, or operate and keep dudes at the end of your punches. Being a great puncher ain't just about one knockout punch power. It's about how you utilize those bombs. How you get those, how the missiles get them there. So, Tank, that's an easy fight for Tank if he follow the game plan. But if Tank don't give Tank the right game plan, and Tank don't want to follow the game plan, he go out there and throw a billion punches, and Leo survive, and Leo outbox him down the stretch, and his stamina gone, then that's the only way Leo can win. If Leo survive early on, if Leo can steal a round or two in the first 6, he could take Gervonta Power and Tank get tired down the stretch. Leo, that's the way Leo gonna win. He's gonna just beat him up down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, do you think they're gonna try to rob Tank? I'm not getting into that. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It ain't gonna be on the West Coast. It's gonna be at the Mohegan Sun. So that's my whole thing about it. Let's move on, man. Then we got Colbert versus God Don't Know. Jaime and Arello. I don't know him, but he seemed to be able to punch. So I'm always down for a Cobra fight November 28th. Oblali, who the fuck did Oblali beat, man? I gotta look this dude up because I remember watching the fight. I remember watching him fight. He 33 years old too, so he beat the Nuyua brother, I guess. One of his brothers. Oh, okay, he the one that beat Rashid Warren. Okay, he beat Rashid Warren on what card was that? Box Rec. Let your boy know. It was the Marcus Brown Badu Jack. Oh no, excuse me. It was the Manny Pacquiao Adrian Broner fight. So, fighting Donaire. Y'all know Donaire, one of my favorite fighters, bro. So, Triple H salute. No done Jason Boxer salute. So y'all know Donaire, one of my favorite fighters, bro. Like I rank Donaire. He's a Hall of Famer in my opinion. Just how he carried himself. He fought the best. I became a fan when he left my teeth shaking on the canvas. But I truly immortalized him for taking a chance and fighting Rigondeaux when Bob Arum told him not to. So I'm a ride with Donaire. I think he a legend. He make the Bay Area proud. He make the Filipino people proud. He ain't never backed down. He ain't never been no hoe. He ain't never ducked a fade. He never let a loss get down on him. Donaire is definitely going down in my Goodfellas Sports TV Hall of Fame. Easily. Easily. So I look forward to watching Donaire. I know he need to kind of get ready to kind of bow out the sport. I think he one of the greatest fighters of his generation, by none. You know, in a generation where motherfuckers still ducking and hiding, top rank cut him, he still go out there and fight the best. Come on, Rigondeaux, Nicholas Walters when he was the Axeman, not when he moved up and Bob started him out. I mean, you could just keep going on. He fought Vic Darchinian, I believe. You know, he fought Rigondeaux. He fought a Nuyua. He fought Ryan Barnett as an older fighter moving down. You know what I'm saying? He took every chance possible, bro. Donaire is one of the realest motherfuckers out. Him and Andre Ward come out the same area, so I mean, real recognize real, man. Straight up and down. So I look forward to that fight. But let's talk about. I heard that Ryan Garcia, because I ain't gonna stay on long tonight. Let's get into Ryan and Canelo. Canelo. He fight Oscar. I'm paying for that shit. Straight up and down. That's a must. And I also got some more news, man, about Clarissa Shields, man. So, uh, the zone could be announcing Callum Smith and Canelo Friday or Saturday. Here y'all go. Here you go. One time for the one time. Yeah, Rigondeaux did put him on Radio City, Music City Hall. I wanted to go to that fight. I just couldn't make it. Coppinger doesn't know anything. Ryan versus Luke Campbell will be announced soon too. I don't know about tomorrow for that one. So, well, Ryan and Luke apparently is done. Canelo and Callum Smith is done. They said Callum Smith earlier was crying over $1 million. I mean, me too. Um, so we talk about that. And I got some other interesting rumors. Smooth Will. So who else we got in there? Angel Salute. So Callum Smith wanted $6 million. They offered him 5. So I guess they closed the gap or gave him the 6. This is the thing about Canelo. I'm not gonna speak long on this fight. I know both fighters. I picked Callum Smith to win the World Series boxing to begin with. So I've been following his career for a while, right? Before the injuries. Golden Boy actually wanted to do an in-house fight. Lemieux, Quigley, and there was another dude in there. I think Torian Johnson. They wanted to do an in-house fight. The zone would not approve none of the in-house fighters that they wanted to fight. So they weren't trying to pay Callum Smith for no other opponent. So they paid Callum Smith. He will be fighting Canelo. I heard that Canelo could fight on Mexican Independence Day holiday. Also heard that he could fight late September, early October. So I'm not exactly sure where this is going. I also heard that the Golovkin fight could be next May. I really could care less. But Canelo and Callum Smith is done. I'm not sure, did they give him a little bit more than $5 million or did they give him his 6? But it should be announced Friday or Saturday. They might announce it during the Virgil Ortiz fight. So that is done. All right, now Devin Haney was talking about Luke probably ducking out versus Ryan ducking out versus Luke. Apparently, that fight is done as well too, and it should be announced at some point. Not sure. Maybe they announced Canelo Friday or Ryan Friday, and the opposite on Saturday, and Ryan Saturday or Canelo Saturday. So, um, I asked if Ryan gonna duck. They said nah, Ryan gonna take the fight. So, I think I look more forward to Ryan and Luke Campbell. That's more intriguing to me. Um, but Callum Smith, I heard, didn't look good his last fight versus John Ryder. So I don't know what the rehydration clause is or what he putting on him, but Callum Smith is like 6'3", but having height and reach in this era, this is no advantage. Easter Fortuna showed you that. All the Paul Williams fights showed you that, but um, I think it's the strongest possibility for the zone to come back. They also will be kicking off the zone UK, so I mean they obviously needed Callum Smith to kick off the zone UK. So I'm not sure what his fan base looked like over there in the UK, but they be kicking off the zone UK. I heard they wanted to kick off the zone Mexico too. So I mean, I heard that I guess all the champions on Mexican TV won't fight for free no more. So I haven't heard nothing about Ennis. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind chopping it up with Ennis. I wouldn't. I like the kid. He said I met Rigo in Vegas at the Ward Kovalev 2 fight. He was really welcoming. I took a pic with him. Yeah, I ain't never heard nothing bad about him. I love Ryan and Luke fighting boxing, but yeah, yeah, that's a fight. That's other than Derbachenko and the Charlo and Rosario fight and Charlo and Derbachenko. I think that's probably my next favorite fight. I think that's my next favorite fight. I like Canelo and Callum, especially if there ain't no rehydration. If it's rehydration clause, I don't know how Callum could do it because he barely made weight versus John Ryder. So I ain't 100% sure. I also know Dillian White and Povetkin fight. Now I'm interested in that fight. I might drop a few chips on Povetkin. What's so funny about it? The NBA they did their scrimmages today, right? I don't know where you can watch them at, but I seen some highlights. And what's so funny about that is like anybody got a FanDuel account, like log into your FanDuel account and they giving you $10 to bet. So I had $4 and like 90 cents in my fucking account from when the NBA ended, and they didn't refund it the day they ended it. Kind of when the Utah and like New Orleans was playing, and they ended all that shit because of the COVID. So FanDuel giving people $10 to bet, on NBA. I mean, it might be $10 to lose, but yeah. I don't even talk about Bola Bola, bro. Like I'm gonna get into my Detroit rant just for 1 second. I'm gonna let y'all know these rumors that's out there. All right, and then we gonna go in Q&A and close it out. Please open the doors to the church. The Pistons could have had. Listen here, real talk. I know motherfuckers don't want to hear this. Check my other channel out, Mercy Sports Talk. I'm already gonna talk about this tomorrow. The Pistons could have had Kevin Porter Jr., who's a fucking animal in Cleveland, and we could have drafted fucking Bola, and we did not, bro. We did not. We drafted some dude from Israel, and he ain't even gonna come over, bro. We could have had Bola, Kevin Porter Jr., and we could have had Christian Wood, Diombo. Nigga, we would have been in the game. Put LaMelo, Cole Anthony, whoever James Watt, man, we would have been in the game. The Pistons, man, I swear to God, just let me run the Pistons and the Lions. I guarantee I'm going to run it better than them, bro. Guarantee it, bro. Oh, my God. I'm so sick, bro. Like, nigga, do you know I would be at every game? But Bola got to put some weight on, though. For sure. But let's talk about these rumors, man. Rumor mill. I gotta give me some fucking sound clips and shit, man. When I get my new setup. So where y'all want to start off at? Yeah, I talked about some of this earlier. We talked about the pay-per-view being reduced. So I heard Fox is coming strong. For sure Earl and Danny would be on Fox pay-per-view. Wilder and Fury 3 as a joint pay-per-view with ESPN. So that's 2 fights Fox got lined up. We talked about the pay-per-view on Showtime being reduced. He said I heard that it would be $64.99 price range. I heard they're working on Mikey versus Pacquiao for Fox pay-per-view. Hopefully it happens. And Danny and Earl on pay-per-view. Mikey and Pacquiao Still not for sure thing, but they're in talks. Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola for Fox. I also heard we might get Caleb Plant versus Caleb Truex, but it's not 100%. Canelo and we talked about Canelo and Callum. He said Caleb Plant, Thurman, Porter, and maybe Clarissa Shields could fight on Fox. So Clarissa Shields could be fighting on Fox. Um, Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Korobov could happen again. So somebody Sean asked about Chris Eubanks Jr. He could be fighting Korobov again. Korobov must be healthy. Al wants to see if he can make Sean versus Keith Thurman or Sean versus Josito Lopez. So they gonna try to make Sean and Keith Thurman on Fox. Not sure if it's gonna be pay per view or not. Or he gonna try to make Sean and Josito. I know Sean turned down Josito for June before the pandemic, if my memory serves me correctly. Um, but now he's saying that I was right. Sean would do a tune-up. So Sean is gonna do a tune-up. So erase that. So Sean Porter would tune up. So he won't be fighting Keith Thurman. He doing a tune-up. So, at the end of the day, you got Clarissa that could debut on Fox now. I heard y'all boy, Kung Fu Kenny, who got smushed face by Kung Fu Kenny, had Raquel Miller on, and she said Al Heyman don't care about the female boxers. So Clarissa could make her Fox debut. So that'd be huge for Clarissa to get on Fox debut. And also to remember for Showtime, for those who don't know, to remember on Showtime that they still got Dimitri Sautier, whatever his name is. So you still gonna have showbox cards, and every weekend that boxing not on, they might, or on Showtime, Dimitri Sautier might have a card. So don't forget they still got the showbox schedule. I mean, also Boots, he got a fight date on Showtime. We got a fight deal. So I mean, yeah, so you got some things that's happening over there. So pretty much that's what I got. Any questions I answer them now. But that's basically how it's going down. Like DMX said, that was I don't know about Otto Wallin. But DMX and Snoop, that was fire, bro. Snoop didn't even get all the way in his bag. He ain't played Let's Get Oh, RNG was one of his most underrated rap albums. He said so the real dogs are jumping into the big fights, but PBC Lane 47 needs tune up, same old nonsense. I mean, it is what it is. I think Sean would have fought Keith Thurman. But I don't think Keith wanted that fight. But Sean said no to Josito Lopez. He said no. Snoop won. It was good. It was good. It was competitive. I don't even want to talk about who won and lost. It was just a great celebration, bro. But we can definitely tell Swiss Beats. Dr. Dre was a better producer than Swiss Beats. But I'll talk about it tomorrow. Get it on the floor. Get it on the floor. You wanna go? DMX was a whole vibe as a kid. Like, man, like he had grown niggas like acting like that nigga. DMX, if he would have stayed off the crack rock, man, DMX probably would have went down bigger than Jay. He said, I listen to you a lot. The boxing channels on here. Do you realize how good you are? You take a back seat to no one. I enjoy your channel. Shout out to Smooth Will. Appreciate it. He said, what do you think about Leo versus Stephen Foden? I know it's smaller guys, but I really like. I heard. I mentioned my boy. I ain't gonna say his name. He he out that same gym as Angelo Leo. He said Angelo Leo gonna win. I looked at him. Good fight. I think that's one of the better fights. I think that's like as far as the other fights that I'm anticipating. That's probably the second card I'm anticipating, other than the Charlo card. I think it's gonna be a good fight. Hopefully they both healthy, COVID free. We can get a fight. So, yeah, I think Foden and Leo they fighting for the WBO title. By the way, Josito Lopez ain't fought in like nearly 2 years. No, he fought. Remember he just beat up. It's been a year. He just beat up John Molina on the Pacquiao Thurman undercard. So it's been a year. He beat him up, or was it on the Sean Porter undercard? And, Oh, I also was told this, man. I know people gonna want to hear this. They told me that Errol Spence will never fight Terrence Crawford. That's not gonna happen. So, putting it out there, I heard that's a fight they're not gonna do. So everybody that's holding on to that fight, And this ain't Top Rank. This is from PBC. They not doing that fight. No Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. I heard that fight ain't happening. So, we might as well just stop talking about it. So I heard that fight is not happening. They're not doing that fight. Why you think they wanted to get Sean Porter, Keith Thurman to keep him away from Crawford? So they ain't gonna never let Crawford in. So Crawford best hope. Crawford best hope is that Qdoba beat Lipinets. He can beat Earl Spence. So they said that fight is never gonna happen. And I got that from the upper room. They said that fight is they not gonna let that happen. So like I said, I thought the fight would never happen at 47, possibly 54, but they told me no. They said this is the same guy said was gonna age him out. They just not gonna let it happen. So I mean, it is what it is. I feel bad for Crawford. You know, I feel bad for him. Unless he shows some vulnerabilities that make, but I feel bad for him. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, y'all keep asking questions. It's heartbreaking because when they go down in history, Errol Spence gonna tell some bullshit ass story. You know what I'm saying? And, me personally, I hope Danny Garcia knocked his teeth out of his mouth. I know Danny won't fight him, but shit, it'll shake some shit up. So ain't nothing he can do about it. It's just like he gonna go down as on the Larry Holmes list with Wilder. How good Crawford could have been. I mean, you could ask that about Andre Ward, but it just seemed like the real fighters, no matter what color they is, they take a back seat to fandom. You know what I'm saying? And fandom ain't nothing that you can born with. It's something just that you could be from a certain area and people can support you and not support you. Anthony Joshua, he got fans. When you got fans, and not even fans no more. You got apologists. You can get away with whatever. Not just in boxing, basketball, baseball. Shout out to Mookie Betts for signing that $365 million deal, bro. I mean, we see it in basketball. People saying LeBron the GOAT, but how you the GOAT and you 3-6 in finals? I ain't never seen a GOAT like nigga like a below 500 that bad. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, you argue with a lot of people who don't even understand what they're talking about. I mean, we could talk about music, and I can tell somebody how good DMX first 2 or 3 albums was. I can tell them that Snoop had one of the greatest debut albums of all time, but motherfucker, oh no, it wasn't. But you ain't never heard. I mean, you are like it's to the point where I'm not even going back and forth no more. You can't convert. You can't convert atheists into Christianity. You can't. You can try, but 9 times out of 10, you can't convert ignorance to knowledge. So when you out here going back and forth with people at Twitter or whatever the situation may be, you can't convert the shit. People go say, "Oh, you lying?" I ain't forced you to believe me or not. I'm telling, like what I'm saying is actually matching up in reality. You know what I'm saying? So they said that fight never gonna happen. So it is what it is. So I think Tom been saying it for a while. You know, we've been hearing it from the WBC. We've been hearing it from Top Rank. Everything has been consistent, bro. It's being consistent. It's cool. I wish both of the brothers the best, but it is what it is. He said they're afraid of the stuntman dropping that. Oh, we'll see what happens. It's happening Neverberry 2033. Yeah, they said it ain't. I heard that from a close, like really close. It's not happening. So it is what it is. We can move on. I also got a list of Al Heyman's favorite. We all know who Al Heyman's favorite fighters is, man. That shit ain't no. Like we know. Like shit. Come on. And a lot of people don't even know Floyd is an owner at PBC. You know what I'm saying? Earl Smith's not gonna stand up and say he want that fight. And even if he did, would Al Heyman sign off on him? Charles Conway, 154-pound monster. RP Patrick Day got no promoter. He will whoop to share right now. Yeah, he from Ohio. Kind of same thing with Crawford was out there with no promoter, man. It's a popularity contest. They don't care how good you is. They want to know can you put ass in the seats. So it is what it is. Good for him. We can stop talking about it. Generation of boxing. Jason Sosa has all the potential to be great, but just like the past, but the fight need to happen. They not. That fight ain't happening. I'm telling you, they gotta make Spence. Spence got to fight his IBF mandatory. They had interim title that's going down. What I say, October. I keep asking the questions. October 10th between Lipius and Qdoba. So it's not gonna happen. So y'all not gonna hold the nigga accountable neither, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all motherfuckers in Dallas, y'all happy that y'all like dudes. They happy that that fight not gonna happen. I'm cool with it. They happy that fight not gonna happen. Everybody knew what was gonna happen. I really wish boxing fans would stick together, demand the best fight. And then you don't have fans no more, bro. You got apologists and fanboys. It's very, very few fans out here that's just saying, you know what, I just want to see the best fight the best. Anytime you have a journalist or a media outlet, or you have a YouTuber, vlogger telling you we got to build this fight up, or not, oh he ain't sold enough pay-per-views, he ain't big enough yet. Anytime you got the coach talking like that, it is what it is. You know, you can't even get everybody to wear a mask so COVID can kind of curb and we can go back to regular life. So we can't get people to wear a mask out at the grocery store, or why they at the kids' school, sign them up for school. What make you think we can get these boxing films on one accord? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the proof's in the pudding. Like when I talked about, y'all keep asking questions. When I talked about I forget what I was about to say, bro. I forgot, but I was reading this question. Castano Teixeira is still one to fight. I see Castano versus Teixeira is still one to see that. I don't know what's going on with that one. Teixeira called out Bud, so I don't know. I'm pursuing, but I forgot what I was gonna say. But it is what it is. I mean, nobody gonna demand that fight. You just got too many people divided. Why it shouldn't happen? Who should be the A side? Who should do this and do that? Like it is what it is. You know? Even if Danny win, he ain't gonna fight Bud neither. I mean, this is just ludicrous. You know what's going on with T.O. and Loma? Yeah, he just posted a video today in New York. So I know it's supposed to be, it ain't done yet. You know, you hear in October. I hear they want to do it with 2,000 fans and feed them a dinner package with the tickets and do it in front of 2,000 fans. It's gonna happen. So I mean, yeah, the world changed forever post 2020 Corona. Thumper said, "I want to see Lil Beehive versus Cure or Gary Rose." Yeah, that's a good fight. I don't know if you can get them to fight each other. To be honest, any word on Gary? None, none whatsoever. So I don't know. Any more questions? But you know, it is what it is. But I was told that fight is never gonna happen. So I mean, worst case scenario, you gonna get instead of Terrence and Earl, you probably gonna get Keith Thurman and Earl, like a 3 belt unification. Don't be surprised if it ain't for 4. So I mean, at this point, should Crawford leave the sanctioning belt body and then go get another one? But then you also endanger there are 4 PBC fighters for the WBO. So if you leave and then Keith Thurman get the belt, and I mean, WBC play with you. I mean, don't nobody like the guy. It's just like you like Deontay. Like a lot of people don't like him. Even before he started running with the letter crew, a lot of people just don't like him. Some people, it just seems like the darker you are, people just tend not to like Carissa Shields. Like everybody I talk about her behind, everybody hate that girl. Real talk. I ain't seen one person say behind the scenes say nothing nice about Carissa Shields. So sometimes you just on that list of just not being like Crawford just on that list. Like I was Crawford, I'll get my money and retire. I can retire knowing that I did everything in my power to make a fight happen. Or I try to make something happen. I could just retire with a good mind. Texas probably raining in bullets the way Earl Duck. Is Lubin on the Charlo card? No, Lubin got his own card. That is versus Terrell Boucher on September 19th. So that's a week before the Charlo card on regular Showtime. So he said Jamel gonna be undisputed once Castanos beat Teixeira. That fight gotta happen. And I ain't heard about that fight happening yet. Maybe it's on the zone lineup. But I don't see I don't think Charlo gonna beat Rosario like y'all just think he gonna beat Rosario. Like Charlo not that good, bro. If Rosario can take the punching power of Charlo, he gonna beat him. He said she really gets a lot of hate because they hate the outspoken black woman. You know, that's just what it is. A lot of brothers, just hate, black women. They was, especially these boxing dudes. What you gotta understand is this. A lot of these boxing motherfuckers, they ain't wasn't no gangsters, they wasn't no thugs, they didn't sell crack. They wasn't these were some little micro midgets in high school. The chicks weren't checking for these little motherfuckers that's 150 pounds and stuff of that nature. So same thing with a lot of actors and musicians and shit, man. Like Childish Gambino, one black women wasn't checking for him. So you want him to settle for a woman that don't like him? No, he gonna go from tier 1 black woman to the tier 2, tier 1 a white woman, a Brazilian woman, a Spanish woman. So, you know, it's a lot of dudes that claim to be black community, but they don't like black women. And I don't mean like you gotta fuck a black woman or you gotta be married to them. It's a lot of these dudes that I heard say a lot of bullshit about Clarissa Shields, but it is what it is. Just CJ, I think Charlo going. What have convinced you that Charlo is going to win? Tell me that. Let's have that conversation, Monty. What's convinced you that Charlo? What name me a fight that Charlo been dominant in? Tell me. Let's have this dialogue. Rosario couldn't take Gallimore punch and power. He a different fighter now since he's been in that halfway house. Gallimore is a bigger puncher than Charlo. You do know that, right? Gallimore punch harder than Charlo. Charlo don't really punch hard. Charlo's he got a better skill set. But Charlo don't punch harder than Gallimore. He don't. And Rosario is now in shape. That's the difference. That's why he beat J Rock. He in shape. He taking training serious. So you can't always, you ain't always look at a fight and say, well, he couldn't take his power. I've seen plenty of times where fighters got knocked out by a big puncher, you know what I'm saying, and then, they come back versus another big puncher and they beat him. We see it all the time. Sometimes on a given night, you just ain't right. Like J Rock, J Rock got knocked out by Jamal. I thought Gallimore might knock him out. Charlo was already in a draw. Could be. Like I'm just trying to say, who was Charlo like dominated? Who was he dominating? Nobody, man. He struggled versus Vanez. He was losing to damn near every round to John Jackson, Julian Jackson's son. You know what I'm saying? He beat up on Lubin. I mean, come on, that was expected. He beat up on Charles Halley. That was expected. He struggled with Austin Trout. He struggled with Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison isn't no offense, he's not seen as the A level opponent. Y'all was calling him a bum before the first fight. So you look at it like, who was Charlo legitimately dominated in his career? Nobody. Shout out to Johnny. Said Angelo gonna beat Foden. Don't make me bet my money and I lose, Johnny. I'm gonna come to fucking Vegas and get my money back. So at the end of the day, who is he? Who is Charlo truly dominated to make y'all say like he's the best? You can make a lot. You can make a case that he lost a lot of rounds in his career, and just his stamina, his power, his stamina really carried his career. I feel a side makes fight and Rosario is going to be right in front of Charlo. That's the good thing about it. Charlo can't take that pressure. If Charlo punching off the back foot, he doesn't generate the power. He doesn't operate. He operates like a European. If you push Jamal Charlo on the back foot, he don't know how to function. That's it. If you push Charlo on the back foot, he can't function. And once you start to pressure Charlo, and if Rosario can take that power, and that's the if. Once you start to pressure Charlo, he starts to mentally break down emotionally. That's all Rosario got to do is be able to take that 1-2, take the 1-2 away. He start touching Charlo. He can't stop. He got to make him quit if he can take the power. Charlo is an emotional fighter. He's an emotional fighter. But we got to see if Rosario the real deal. He been training in the halfway house. So, he ain't allowed to go out. He got a curfew. He can't eat certain things. So, when you change your training regimen, everything get better. So, we got to see. We got to see. I don't see what people see in Jermell Charlo. He's not a dominant force. It ain't like saying Mayweather was the best at 47 or Pacquiao may be the best at 47 now. Or some people might say Earl. He's not in that category. Like how you say Fury possibly the best heavyweight right now. Like you can't say that about Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Charlo has done nothing in this division. You know what I'm saying? He has done nothing. So he said got power in both hands. He don't really have power like that, bro. He don't. Charlo is an above average puncher. He's a good puncher, but he's not a power puncher. Charlo gets by because he got great stamina. He's strong. That's it. Charlo is a strong fighter with good stamina. He's not a puncher. He's not a puncher. He get a reputation for punching, but who has he knocked out that's had a granite chin? Nobody. Nobody. He's not a puncher. He want to be a puncher. He want to dress up like a puncher, but he's not a puncher. So we'll see how it turn out. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it in for the night. I had a DMX and a Snoop Dogg video up tonight, man. So I mean tomorrow. So like I said before, I think that fight can go either way. But I would favor Charlo. But I don't think Charlo is like he's not one of the best 54 pounders to ever do it. But hey, y'all know what it is. Share the videos. We